What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome to Super 6 and Fantasy Football Predictions. Basically, I'm going to show you if I've made any changes to Fantasy Football, and I'm going to show you the Super 6 predictions. We got one perfectly correct last week with Blackpool winning 1-0 away from home, I believe, against Scunthorpe. I think I've got that one right. But either way, I predicted that correctly. So hopefully, I can predict a couple more correctly. I'm going to go with some bold statements this week. So the first game is going to be Arsenal against Stoke. Stoke, I believe, yet to win this season, even though they've had a very difficult start. They've got a very good side. They're almost towards the bottom of the league, but I still believe that they've got what it takes to finish well into the top half. However, Arsenal have too much in the tank. 3-2 Arsenal is what I'm going to go with. I think that's going to be a thriller at the Emirates. I do. I think Arsenal are going to start off well. I'm going to score. And then Stoke are going to come back 1-1. And then I think it's going to go 3-1. I think Stoke are going to grab one back. 3-2. I think the final score will be the Arsenal a little bit too strong. Crystal Palace against Manchester City. Another big game. One of the top four sides involved there. And Man City, of course. Jokes, beer jokes. Palace starting the season very well. They're doing extremely well. Pulling out some results. An away win against Chelsea, more notably, of course. But I think Man City are going to be too strong away from home. 2-1. We're going to go there. Bournemouth, Norwich. Bournemouth playing very, very well indeed. 2-0 away from home there. That's all I've got to say about that. Norwich not exactly free scoring. Bournemouth doing well defensively. So yeah, 2-0. Swansea started the season exceptionally well, and I think they're going to continue it against Watford. 3-1 away from home there, I think, is a very fair result. Watford are a decent side. They've got a lot of new signings to come in. Victor Ababo being the most of note, really. However, I think it's going to take time for those to gel. Swansea have got a very good side as is. So I think 3-1 is a fair result there. Southampton, West Brom, both sides who are tipped to struggle this year, really. I know Southampton have had a couple of decent results this season so far. West Brom, not so much, but still, they beat Stoke 2 weeks ago, of course, when Stoke went down to 9 men, but only just 1-0. So I think 1-1 there. I think at the Hawthorns that is going to be a difficult game for Southampton to come away with anything other than a draw. 1-1. Brighton, Hull, both sides have started well this season. They're doing exceptionally well in the Championship, both of them, and I can't really pick between them. The last time these two sides met, Hull ran out 2-1 winners, but the time before that was 1-1. Both teams score goals, but both teams concede as well. So 1-1 I think is a fair result. I've gone with a 14th minute first goal. I think it's going to take a while to get going after the international break. And I think the 14th minute is where we can expect the first goal. I'm pretty spot on with first goals going in and around the times. There you go. Yeah, let's go look at fantasy football. Right, so I'm not quite sure if I've showed you this already. I don't have any transfers to make. In fact, I know I haven't showed you. We're going to start off with Petr Cech in goal, Kolarov, Darmian and Ivanovic in defence. 3 at the back. Johan Cabaye, Barkley and Ayewu has come into the team. I think I had James Milner there. Ayewu was coming to replace him. I was going to do it before he had that performance against Manchester United where he had an assist, I think, or he may have even scored. I was going to do it before that. However, I didn't have any transfers left, so I couldn't do it. And then he scored against United or assisted or did something, and his price went up. But I just about had enough after I got rid of Milner, so he comes into the team. Alexis Sanchez remains there, although he has very little time left in my fantasy football, because if he doesn't pull out a performance against Stoke, I may consider swapping him, because it's been, what, 4 or 5 games and he's yet to do anything of note. So, yeah, he may go. And then Gomes, Lukaku and Aguero up front. Of course, I've brought Gomes in last week before the United game. He got himself a goal. Well done, Gomes. My bench looks like Schwarzer, Albright and Baker, who no longer plays in the Premier League. I think he's on loan at a Championship side, but I can't do anything about that until I have a transfer available, which I've already used for Ayewu, so I have to wait for next week. And then Gamboa, who has only played about 26 minutes of football this season, so I don't think he's going to get us any points. We still have the triple captain to play. I'm waiting for Aguero or Gomes to play against someone I think he's going to get goals against. Watford are a decent side, even though I've predicted a 3-1 victory for Swansea. I don't want to use the triple captain just yet. I want to use it for Aguero when they play a team later on in the league, once Aguero starts scoring goals. So let's have a look at the fixtures for the rest of the weekend. We haven't talked about Chelsea Everton. That is an early Saturday afternoon kickoff. That is, of course, going to be a big game. Chelsea have started terribly, in my opinion, and in most people's opinion, to the season. Everton have done better than most people had predicted, to be honest. I don't know. I don't know what the result's going to be. I'd like to say a draw, but I think Chelsea might come out swinging. Really, I think Chelsea will win that one. I want it to be a draw, but I think Chelsea will win it. We've gone through Arsenal, Palace, Norwich, Watford, and West Brom. Liverpool United, 5:30 Saturday afternoon. Oh my God, I do not want that game to happen. I just wish that we could just skip it. United will win. It's at Old Trafford. United are the stronger of the two sides, in my opinion. I'm a hardcore Liverpool fan, and it pains me to say it, but I think United have definitely got a stronger starting 11 than what Liverpool have. They're playing better, in my opinion. United win. Hey. If Liverpool come out with anything other than a defeat, I'm chuffed to beans. Even if it's a 0-0, the most boring game you've ever seen, I'm happy. And at least said about that. But let's just move on. If we win, I'm just going to gloat. But I mean, let's just move on. Sunderland Spurs, can't see anything other than a Spurs victory there. Again, though, both sides stuttering. Sunderland's start to the season has been dreadful, but they're turning it around a little bit. They've made a couple of signings. I don't know whether it's going to be enough. You would have thought Spurs would be strong enough to win there. I think they will. Leicester Villa. Leicester first defeat 2 weeks ago against Bournemouth, of course. Again, a tough one to call. Would not be surprised if this ended 1-1, but then I wouldn't be surprised if Leicester won it 3-0, and I wouldn't be surprised if Villa nicked it 1-0 either, to be honest. But I'm going to go with a Leicester victory. I don't know, something about it. And then West Ham, Newcastle. True Geordie against Spencer. Difficult one, difficult. I think I'm going to go with a Newcastle win there. I don't know, I think West Ham have stuttered against the teams you would expect them to beat. And then they've beaten the teams you wouldn't expect them to beat. Arsenal, Liverpool. So I'm going to go with a Newcastle victory. I think that Newcastle are going to surprise a few people. A couple of the new signings are going to come up trumps. And that's the end of that. That's actually going to do it for today's video on the weekend to come. If you've got... Newcastle, Sunderland are actually right down there. And Stoke are in the relegation zone as well. So it's going to be a very interesting weekend of football. Tops v bottoms. Very much the theme of this weekend. We'll see exactly what happens. Let me know how your club is going to get on this week in the comment section down below, and how you're going to get on in the Super 6. By the way, just a quick note, if you still, for some strange reason, haven't got on board with Super 6, you can still do it, and you can still catch the majority of people in the division that I'm in as well. You can find all the information down in the description on how to join Fantasy Football, Super 6, etc, etc, and all the codes to join the leagues. Everything I do is free. You can join it for free as well. Go check it out, link down below. If you've enjoyed it, do me a favour and smack that like button, subscribe to the channel if you have done so. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, until Monday or maybe even Tuesday, because there is Monday Night Football, goodbye. If you're still yet to get your copy of FIFA 16 on the Xbox or PC, then go to cdkeys.com. The link can be found down in the description. They are ridiculously cheap. The cheapest place to find it on the internet at the moment. You can also get FIFA points, memberships, and various other games from there as well. The links can be found down below. Go check them out.